Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the seminar. Before we start our seminar, I would like to give a special thanks to our lecturer, Madam Siti Azrina Adenan, for helping and guiding us in preparing this presentation. So, under the course of seminar in management accounting, my group on behalf of our class will focus the presentation on strategic positioning. Before that, let me introduce our presenter. First, there is me myself. My name is Andik Muhammad Hafizuddin.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Himi bin Jasmine.
Hi, I am Muhammad Hiaul Hakim bin Muhammad Ali.
Well, without further ado, let's get started.
So, what keywords come to your mind when you think about companies such as Apple, Walmart and Disney? Most consumers will say that innovative products, competitive pricing and excellent service are synonymous with these companies. An important step in developing key operational strategies depends upon how a company positions itself in the marketplace. Every company cannot satisfy every customer and also be competitive in areas like quality, cost, flexibility, speed, innovation and service. So, Porter once said that strategy should reflect a distinctive value chain that configures all key business processes and operations in a unique way that is difficult for competitors to imitate. And Wickham also said that strategic positioning is concerned with the way in which a business as a whole distinguishes itself in a valuable way from its competitors and delivers value to specific customer segments. So basically, a positioning strategy is when a company chooses one or two important key areas to concentrate on and excels in those areas. A firm's positioning strategy should focus on how it will compete in the market. An effective positioning strategy considers the strength and weakness of the organizations, the needs of the customers and markets, and the position of competitors. The purpose of a positioning strategy is that it would allow the company to spotlight specific areas where they can outshine and beat their competition. Next, I will explain to you regarding objective of strategic positioning. So, for the first objective is in terms of differentiation. Strategic positioning emphasizes a unique benefit or component of a product that separates it from other competitors. In contrast, the differentiation notes the specific benefit or attribute that make the product unique when compared to competitors. This differentiation typically applies across various target markets. When performed correctly, marketers have established a point of difference and value proposition that applies to all market segments. So the next objective is in terms of brand equity. So strategic positioning will give rise to brand equity or the unique benefits that a product enjoys due solely to its brand name. Consistent positioning leads to global brand equity. The benefits of brand equity include the ability to charge a higher price and the presence of customer loyalty. So these positive outcomes result from the way consumers view the brand. For example, Mercedes-Benz holds a strong position and brand due to perceptions of superior engineering, safety and customer satisfaction. And the last objective is in terms of brand parity. Strategic positioning is aimed to create a product that are free from brand parity in the market. Brand without points of difference or unique benefits will lead to perceptions of brand parity. Brand parity exists when brands within one product category are viewed as similar or undifferentiated. When all products are deemed to be basically the same, companies are forced to compete with price or other marketing enticements that reduce revenue per sale, such as coupons, premiums, contests, or bonus packs. So now, you must be wondering that if there is any advantage or disadvantage in positioning strategies. Of course, there are advantages and disadvantages. So, now I will explain to you further on advantage and disadvantages. So, for the first advantages is cope with market changes. Positioning strategies will create a product that is aligned with market change or trend. Market change or trend happening because it is a human nature that our preference is not fixed. and gradually change from time to time. So in positioning strategies, it will strengthen and position business better within the business environment, thus enabling company to survive and compete in the market. So for the next advantages is meet expectation of buyer. The business will develop a product that serves customer needs or provide alternatives to consumers. So this is because customers always have their own perceptions towards a product, and in using positioning strategies, this will enable the business understand the customer preference by knowing what they want or desire. Thus, we will realize the perception and the expectation of the customer. So we will move on to these disadvantages. So for the first disadvantages is high cost. Some costs need to be incurred in research and development purpose to create a sustainable and competitive product for a long term. And there might be cost paid for advertisement that use famous influencer in order to attract their fans. And this might be difficult for a small company that might want to venture into the market or business environment, as they didn't have a large capital. And the last disadvantage is high competition. Every company wants to position its products favorably in the minds of consumers. So there is usually a high level of competition in the market. And the competitors will always find a way to be better and conquer the market. So the new company or business often find it difficult to position their products in a market that has well-established competitors, as the consumer didn't know their value, their product value yet. And now, the importance of strategic positioning. So, product positioning creates an image of the company's products in the mind of consumers, highlighting the most important benefits that differentiate the product from similar products in the market. So, effective positioning conveys to consumers why this company's product or services should be preferred over other competitive options based on what the company knows about the target audience needs. The company must stand out from the crowd in ways that hold value for their target markets. And next, the effective product positioning requires a full understanding of customer needs so that the right target market is selected and key message will resonate with customers. So, product positioning starts with identifying specific market segments to target. It is not just a target that such as not just a woman over 25, but women from 25 to 30, where they are working and what department, and also how much their salary, marital status or hobby. The more specific, the better. The last one is the product positioning helps a business communicate how their offerings are different from others that consumers must choose from. A business must communicate to the target audience by choosing communication channels that are designed to connect with the identified target audience at times when they will be most responsive to these messages. For instance, automobile manufacturers position their products through communication via television commercials during sporting events. Now, for the types of strategic positionings. In our presentation, there are 8 types of strategic positioning that we will explain, which is price quality strategy, product attribute, use or application, product class, product user, competitors, emotion, and cultural symbol.
First strategic positioning is price quality positioning. Price quality positioning uses the relation between price and quality. Higher price use higher quality, and lower price use lower quality. But keep in mind, higher price doesn't mean have a higher positioning. As the first example, we can use Mercedes. Mercedes is the car brand model that has established themselves internationally. Mercedes uses price quality positioning in their product. For instance, AMG have a higher quality and higher price than other car because it has a really good quality, so it makes the price really expensive. The second example is Proton. Proton is a well-established car brand in Malaysia. it uses price-quality positioning. One of their products, Perdana, have a low price and low quality. The second positioning strategy is product attribute positioning. Product attribute positioning is associating your product with a certain characteristics that is beneficial to the customer.
6 p.m. No excuses?
Be fast. Be focused. Be inspiring. Be in 4 places at once. Be responsible. Be a role model. Be precise. Oh, and be on time.
Not bad.
Because life is a race. The AMG GT 4-door coupe.
AMG, driving performance.
The new Perdana V6, precise and controlled road handling tuned by Lotus.
As an example, a brand of shoes called Skechers have a product attribute which is comfortable to wear, which have a cushioning technology on the sole of the feet. Second example is Apple. All of Apple product is concerned about the user's privacy and security, which is beneficial to the customer.
We put a lot of stress on our feet. It's no wonder they ache. Introducing ArchFit from Skechers. ArchFit distributes pressure across the arch, providing balance and support to make walking more comfortable. They're machine washable and available for men and women. ArchFit, new from Skechers.
I've browsed 8 sites for divorce attorneys today.
I browsed 8 sites for divorce attorneys today.
My login for everything is Pauline@paulinefoo.com.
I love working with you.
Me too.
Red heart emoji.
Pink heart emoji.
Yellow heart emoji.
Blue heart emoji.
I hate Lee though.
Puke emoji.
Puke emoji.
I am currently reading an article titled 10 Ways to Keep Sweaty Hands from Holding You Back.
My home is in 1,000 feet.
My heart rate is currently 150, 151, 152, and back down to 150.
On March 15th at 9:16 a.m., I purchased prenatal vitamins and 4 pregnancy tests.
The number on my credit card is 0237-1221-0725-0211.
And now for the use or application strategy. Based on the terms use or application, we can see that it's how we use or apply the products. So use or application positioning involves creating a memorable set of users for a product. This strategy requires the identification of the target markets that purchase the product and then notes how those products are being used in other countries. For example, bleach may be used as a cooling product for clothes in a country, but as a germ killer in another country, and also as a way to extend the life of cut flowers in another country. So different people use the product differently according to their preference and perceptions. So the strategy will optimize the opportunity by creating new purpose for the same product that can be used for alternative things. And now let's take a look at examples of use or application strategy for further understanding. So for the first example is Arm & Hammer baking soda. Arm & Hammer manufacture baking soda based consumer products. So instead of focusing on one purpose only, it has diversified their products into many use such as cooking, for deodorizing refrigerators, and also as household cleaning agent. Actually, there are many uses of baking soda right now, if you notice. So the next example is Horlicks. Horlicks mainly developed for medical purpose, and then after that they position their products in the mind of retail customer as health drink, thereby expanding its customer base from medical to retail. So instead of focus on medical purpose, they expand their purpose into a retail, so that their target market is larger. And the last one is Nescafe. So many years the Nescafe position itself as a winter product and advertised mainly in winter, because there are a lot of people during winter. The people tend to drink hot coffee, hot drinks. So during summer months, they notice that there are opportunity to venture into a new purpose for the products. So they introduce a cold coffee as a counter to the hot coffee during winter. So hot coffee during winter and cold coffee during summers, because during summers people tend to drink cold drinks.
Ho ho ho. Apa itu ho ho ho? Ho ho ho, ada vitamin B6 seperti pisang. Ho ho ho, ada kalsium seperti susu. Ho ho ho, ada zat besi macam sayur bayam.
Horlicks baru penuh dengan kebaikan ho ho ho.
It's just a matter of time until you're mine. It's just a matter of time till in my arms. And all these sleepless nights, I'm lying awake, keep dreaming about you, baby, no matter how long it takes.
สกัดรสชาติของเมล็ดกาแฟด้วยความเย็นให้เวลาซึมซับเก็บกักทุกรายละเอียดเพื่อรสชาติกาแฟที่นุ่มลื่นละมุนใหม่ Nescafe Cold Brew กาแฟสกัดเย็น
Next strategy is product class strategy. Product class is the segmentation of marketplace you occupy based on your product or services. In other words, business usually target to satisfy the market demand in the same class and category, but with different approach and alternative. For example, let's take a look at this company called Endorphin. This company, rather than selling dumbbell and barbell that is for weight training, they sell resistance bands. Even though this product is different in physical form, but they share the same purpose. That is first for an athlete to improve their sport performance, second for bodybuilder to improve their strength and gaining their muscle size. Next brand we can take a look at is Listerine. This brand is really popular with selling their product of mouthwash. This product also really different from toothpaste and toothbrush, but it falls under the same category that is with the intention of for oral cleaning. So that is the example for product class. There is also a strategy called product user strategy. The product user positioning method distinguish a brand or a product by clearly specify who might use it or the class of its user. Let's take a look at the example. One of the brand is called Thomas. This company is focused on selling luxury formal attire. That is to meet the demand from the market who are involved in formal attire such as business level workers or a corporate level management. some of the product lines of Thomas are they selling leather dress shoes. They are also selling suit and also leather watch. Another example is Hoop Station. Hoop Station focus mainly on basketballers. Hoop Station is a basketball specialty store that sell mainly basketball related products. For example, they sell the ball itself, they sell NBA jersey, and also they sell basketball specific shoes. So that is product user strategy.
What is competitive positioning strategy? Competitive positioning defines how you differentiate your offering to create value in the market. For example, Nike versus Adidas. They both have the same product, which is shoes, but they differentiate their product by offering different functionality, design, and also features. And second example we can use is Marvel Comics and DC Comics. They both have the same types of comic fictional hero, which is Iron Man and Batman. They both have the strength of the technology and also their wealth, but they differentiate through their own uniqueness of the Batman and Iron Man. Emotion positioning strategy. This positioning strategy is connecting or linking brand with emotion through advertising. Production is a film production company in Malaysia. Suhan Production released a sad emotional video to position their brand in consumers' mind. Lion Banking or Maybank also position their product in consumers' mind through advertising or promoting their patriotism in TV advertisement.
The last type of strategic positioning is called cultural symbol strategy. The cultural symbol of positioning involves an item or brand in achieving unique status within a culture or religion. Cultural symbol reflect a characteristic of a nation or region and may evolve from popular culture, religion, or other factors that make an area distinct. This also refers to religion, political, nationalistic, tradition, cultural belief and value that are meaningful and relevant to the consumer. So let's take a look at the example. Harley Davidson. Now, to some of you, Harley Davidson may seem unknown or even foreign to be showcased as a brand or as a culture or as anything. But in reality, Harley Davidson is a really popular brand and a really popular cultural symbol that showcases the cultural values of freedom. Harley Davidson is really popular in the USA because, as we all know, USA is also known as the land of freedom. And there is also Mi Tarik Warisan Asli. Now for this one, you all might be very familiar. This brand has opened a lot of franchises in Malaysia. Mi Tarik Warisan Asli showcase the cultural value of a Chinese Muslim. How? By selling their products, they are selling Chinese cuisine but also follow the law of Sharia in order to be halal certified. So that is cultural symbol strategy.
We continue by explaining key steps of effective positioning. First, drafting positioning strategy. You have to identify and know which positioning strategy to be used, what is your target customer, and how you want to be perceived by your target market or target consumer. Next, identify the uniqueness of your company. You can identify the uniqueness of your company by comparing and contrasting between your company and competitor. Through comparing and contrasting, you can know the similarity and differences between your company and competitor. Step number 3, competitor analysis. You have to analyze your competitors' strength, weaknesses, and know what is the position of the competitor, whether they have a strong position in the market or not. Step number 4, determine your current position. You have to know your company's current position before you position your product or brand. You have to take into consideration the factors influencing positioning strategy, and also know the external environment, internal environment, the resources are adequate in order to position your brand product. Step number 5, competitor positioning analysis. You have to analyze the competitor positioning, whether it is successful, accepted, and how much the market share after they position their product. Through this, you can know how the positioning of the competitor is successful or not. Step 6, develop a unique positioning idea. After all the previous steps that you completely collect the data, you can use the data to develop a unique and interesting idea to position your product in the market. The last step, test the effectiveness of your positioning. When you have positioned your product in the market, you can collect all sorts of facts or data, whether through survey, interviews with your consumers, to know the position of our brand or product in their mind.
So there are also several factors that can influence positioning strategy. Let's take a look at the factors. So for the first factors is in terms of market conditions. Changing market conditions can have a dramatic effect on strategic positions. A good example of this occurred during the recent economic downturns. Brands that reposition themselves as high-priced, high-quality leaders were forced to quickly analyze their strategy and, in some cases, reposition themselves with consumers. So the next factors is in terms of competitive shift. Like it or not, your competition can also play a role in determining your company's strategic position. If a major competitor suddenly reorients its strategy to occupy the same strategic position as your business, you may need to modify your strategy to differentiate your products with consumers. And the next factor is in terms of financial forecast. Strategic repositioning takes time and money. One of the most frustrating things for a business owner is to identify an attractive strategic positioning to occupy, but unable to do anything about it because you lack the financial resources. If the next year's forecast looks grim, think about repositioning your brands and products over a long time horizon. And the next one is resource allocations. Similarly, your current and forecasted resource allocation may limit your ability to occupy a desired position. It's a big mistake to attempt to acquire a strategic position without the resources required to maintain it. So, a better approach might be to adapt in the strategy. And the last one is a strategic planning. The strategic positions are the outcome of a comprehensive strategic planning process. By far, the most significant influence on your strategic position will be your strategic plan, which should answer many of questions related to the factors that can influence your market position.
Aspects of strategic positioning. There are 3 aspects of strategic positioning. First, external environment. Second, internal resources and competence. Third, expectation and influence of organizational stakeholders. First, let's dive into the first aspects. External environment consists of 4 key areas, which is PEST: political, economical, social, and technological. These 4 external environments have to be considered to realize the company's objective and goal. The second aspect of positioning strategy is internal resources and competence. There are 4 types of internal resources, which is first, physical resources such as plant, machinery, and building. Second, human resources such as labor or employee. The third one is financial resources such as capital. And the last one is intangible resources such as brand, reputation, intellectual, and knowledge. A company can achieve competitive advantage if they use these resources effectively and efficiently. There are 4 things to be addressed in the third aspect of strategic positioning. First, corporate governance. Second, organizational stakeholders. Third, ethical consideration. And fourth, cultural issues.
For the application of positioning strategy, there are 3. The first one is use more than one analysis tools. It is for a better view of positioning strategy from different perspectives. The second one is organization doesn't need to be rigid. This shows that the organization must follow the strategy as a guideline, but not as a rules. And the last one is a plan for sustainability. This will help the business to avoid a short-term life cycle due to focusing on market and trend by preparing for changes.
So now, let's talk about the effect of positioning strategy. First, a company will gain a very vivid direction. This will lead to higher motivation to the employee or to the company as a whole, because the company knows where the path will lead them to. Second, consumer information. The company will become more familiar with the consumer as they research about their market, about their characteristics. Challenges of strategic positioning. First, a company may become too rigid as they become too focused on their path, and this may lead to inflexibility for any changes for improvement in the near future. Second, there will be unnecessary complacency. This feeling of triumph arises since the company know their destination and how it will get there. This will cause failure to monitor the company progress and also performance in the near run, and will also cause failure in achieving the company goals.
And finally, there are tools that can be used to select best positioning strategies. In this case, we highlight 2 tools. The first tool is SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. SWOT analysis identifies forces influencing strategy, action, or initiative. And we also have developed awareness of all factors involved in decision making. Strengths are internal positive attributes of your company. These are things that are within your control. Weakness are negative factors that detract from your strengths. These are things that you might need to improve on to be competitive. And opportunities are external factors in your business environment that are likely to contribute to your success. And threats are external factors that you have no control over. You may want to consider putting in place contingency plans for dealing them if they occur. So basically, strengths and weakness are internal to your company, which things that you have some control over and you can change. And opportunities and threats are external things that are going on outside of your company that might be unable to control. And the next tool is Porter 5 Forces Analysis. So Porter 5 Forces is a model that identifies and analyzes 5 competitive forces that shape every industry and help determine an industry's weaknesses and strengths. 5 forces analysis is frequently used to identify an industry structure to determine corporate strategy. Porter's model can be applied to any segment of the economy to understand the level of competition within the industry and enhance a company's long-term profitability. So the Porter's 5 forces are, the first one is a competition in industry, which refers to the number of competitors and their ability to undercut a company. The next one is potential of new entrants into the industry, which an industry with a strong barriers to entry is ideal for existing companies within that industry, since the company would be able to charge higher price and negotiate better terms. And the third one is power of suppliers, which refers how easily suppliers can drive up the cost of inputs. And the fourth is power of customers, which is the ability that customers have to drive price lower or their level of power. And the last one is threat of substitute products, which a company that produce goods or services for which there are no close substitutes will have more power to increase price and lock in favorable terms.